All right, back down here in Grand Rivers, Kentucky. Somebody's real nice little fancy little house. Kind of cute and dainty. I'm here at Grand Rivers, Kentucky, and it's getting fairly late, but I thought I would drive around a little bit while the evening air is starting to fall. Man, they got all kinds of stuff. This must be some sort of a shop or something right there. Look at that catfish. Wow. Over here, basically, all these turkeys. I guess those are bird feeders or something. I don't know what they are. Looks like bird feeders. Grand Rivers, Kentucky. There's some tires for sale. Pull up in here and see what's going on here. Here's the place here where I was working, doing free humanitarian work for about 4 days, 3 or 4 days during a major ice storm here in Grand Rivers, Kentucky. And they basically run me out of Livingston County. And they first run me out of this town. And then once they figured out that I was on the other side of the county, they run me completely out of the county, telling me not to come back. So my feelings was tremendously hurt by coming up here, quitting my job, putting all my tools aside, and trying to help these good people in the middle of a major ice storm that had shut, give or take, about, I guess the governor of the state of Kentucky shut down about 70 or 80 different counties in the state of Kentucky because it basically just gave them a big wallop. And whenever I say a big wallop, I'm talking about there was 2 big TVA towers. The ice got so thick that both of those collapsed in the Tennessee River. Electricity in a lot of these places basically was completely out of electricity. Some of these places for over a month, depending upon where you was. It was cold. It was like 10 below zero. This was in 2009, January, which whenever it hit. And January 2009 was a very, very busy year for me because after I got through here, I wound up going up towards went up into Indiana first, and then I come back down into Florence, Kentucky. And Florence, Kentucky is where the authorities, including the FBI, pulled me over and ransacked my stuff and done a complete total background check on my name. Basically held me in suspension for about 3.5, 4 hours in the meantime while they was fingerprinting me and me going through all the typical sign-in procedures towards being processed. That's what they call it, being processed. Anyways, it led into a big fluke with them to the point that they let me go. Said it was a misidentity. That same year, that was probably long about March, whenever that happened, because I stayed another, 6 weeks down on the Tennessee LBL side, because the Kentucky LBL side in 2009 was shut down because of the ice storm. But long about March, maybe the first part of April, I got out of there because I felt like that my life was being endangered by all the excitement towards people wanting to pull me over. And went down to Dallas, and then from Dallas I went up to Oklahoma, and from Oklahoma is whenever they basically planted a bomb in the back of my truck. The feds did, U.S. Marshals or whoever it was there in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and activated the bomb and blowed the back of my truck up. After that, I come back to, I left Oklahoma. I went to Bentonville, Arkansas for a while, and then I went back to Oklahoma in Tulsa. That's where I got checked out again. My room got checked out. Basically another shakedown, because they knew who I was. So I left, went to my niece's house in Missouri, went back up in the LBL, and planted a Cherokee badge pertaining to what had been given to me by the Cherokee people, and planted it in the sacred site, and left. I just got basically a three-day advance permit to stay in Land Between the Lakes. And then I come down to Memphis, and I almost got arrested 3 or 4 different times in Memphis. And then I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'll be darned if I didn't wind up almost going to jail the 4th of July night in downtown Atlanta. Another big shakedown because they knew that I was in Atlanta. So yes, I was on their network. I was basically on their grid, towards them watching me and documenting me and following every little move that I was making, no matter if I was in Oklahoma, Missouri, back in Kentucky, Tennessee, or back down in Atlanta. They call that the net, the drag net. And I got caught up in the federal drag net, towards them wanting to basically monitor where I was at, what I was doing, simply because of a bunch of screwballs that wanted to try to categorize me as me being some sort of a monster pertaining to being a homegrown terrorist. I went through one of the most horrible, tremendous things in 2009, in conjunction with all the stuff that happened, that I wouldn't wish upon any human being, anybody, to go through that type of stress and that type of emotional, basically shock, because I didn't, I had no idea that whenever I come back up here in 2009 to help a bunch of people, towards how that they was going to respond and react. And keep in mind, in 2007, in June, is whenever they basically shut down the Kentucky Dam, because I was trying to help them by telling them that there was going to be electrical disturbances. And some idiot got it mixed up, and I guess thought that I was going to create electrical disturbance. And the next thing you know, they confiscate my truck and put my truck in pound and send me to Four Rivers Behavior Center, in which I checked out okay, and basically had to pay $200 just to get my truck out of pound, even though there wasn't no type of violation, and there wasn't no type of order pertaining to a doctor's order. This was all based around people being paranoid, and it was based around a bunch of corrupt people that wanted to use me as some sort of a pawn. That way they could go ahead and hurry up and get their road structure built down from the Tennessee River, about a quarter of a mile, and they could go ahead and get their bridge made. Since 9/11, there was there was an order by Congress towards all the dams in America towards basically being scrutinized in a form that never had been scrutinized before. And anyways, I got caught up in that circus pertaining to people being paranoid, just like me getting caught up in the deal in Oklahoma towards a group of people that decided that they was going to take a red sleeping bag in the back of my truck and try to promote it as it was a bag of TNT, and that I was going to activate the bomb in the back of my truck. This is what they said now, that I was going to activate the bomb in the back of my truck to blow up a memorial site that had already been blown up. Wow. Talk about a circus. Oh yeah. I was engaged in one heck of a year in 2009. And of course, now this is the year 2022. 10 full complete years has passed. So I feel like that it's time that I could talk about it and tell my side of the story and tell the general public towards possibly maybe one day I will be vindicated of the things that has occurred, that I was treated wrongly by a group of people that was trying to promote me as me being either a terrorist or something even worse. Now this guy here, he's got it set out right here. This is a regular camper. He's got his lights on, and he's got the 4th of July things on there. So that looks good. Let me go on up here. I have trouble, because I don't come up here and live up here. I have trouble identifying what road that I'm on and what road that I need to be on towards going to various people's houses up here. Because like I said, I don't live up here. Wouldn't be a bad place to live as long as people would quit falsely accusing me of stuff and trying to promote me as me being some sort of a monster. Wouldn't be a bad place to live. But then again, they've done the exact same thing in Martin, Tennessee, in Weakley County, Tennessee, and they've done the same thing up here in western Kentucky, and they've done the same thing out in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Yeah, this is the road. This is the road I was on. I don't know if this guy's still out here or not. I kind of doubt it. Just wondering what kind of deal he's got going on. I know he had a swimming pool and this and that. Got a big porch. People come out there and talk. He's got an upstairs deck. 2 decks. Hey man, what's going on?
Hey.
How's it going?
It's good. How are you doing?
Come here a minute. Talk to me. You remember me?
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Give me your name.
Dennis Jackson from Tennessee.
Okay.
They call me Juby.
And I'm Mike.
Yep, I knew you back years and years ago.
Okay.
Whenever you and
Chip?
yeah, you and Chip hooked up.
Yeah. Well, that was
30 years ago?
no, 47 years ago.
Oh my
We've
God.
been together 47
Are
years.
you serious?
Yep.
So you was part owners in the Iron Kettle too?
We were. Yeah,
Was you part owners in Pickles too?
we were. Yeah.
Was there something else that y'all had going on that I didn't know about pertaining to being a subservient to the people? Other than
Well,
the restaurant
we've
that
got Patty's, we've got the Rose of the Lake now, the bed and breakfast, we've got the hotel up on the interstate.
you sure
So
do,
we
don't
stay
you?
busy.
Y'all
We
have
gift
really,
shops.
really grown, haven't you?
We have.
So you come from California too,
No,
I'm
I came
assuming.
from the East Coast. He came from the West Coast. I came from the East Coast.
Wow, and y'all hooked up and done real well for yourselves, didn't you?
We just get up in the morning, put one foot in front of the other, and go to work.
That's all you can do. I knew you had a big swimming
a lot
pool.
of 18-hour days.
Oh,
let me tell you.
I can only imagine, and that probably upset the apple cart long about Christmas time whenever that tornado hit over in Mayfield. You know, just for a little bit, that thing would have come on over this way. You know what?
Didn't miss us by much. Did you ride in the Land Between the Lakes?
Yeah.
And saw where it went across?
That's probably what, maybe 3 miles? 3 miles?
3
Yeah.
4 miles from us.
Yeah, it come within 3 miles of you guys.
Came close.
And if it would have hit you, that type of
It
magnitude,
wiped out this town,
type of magnitude, it wouldn't have been much left,
It
would
would
it
have
have?
wiped out the town. Well, you look across the lake at Cambridge Shores subdivision, lakefront subdivision in Marshall County on the other side of the lake.
Right.
Half of that subdivision's just gone.
I didn't know that.
Just gone.
See, they wouldn't
Just
let
like Mayfield.
See, they wouldn't let me out there the day after all that damage
Oh,
hit
I'm sure they wouldn't.
because they were still looking for bodies.
Oh, yeah.
I think they said 7 or 8 people died right there.
I don't know how many.
Did you have pretty property up there?
No.
That's some high-dollar property in there, isn't it?
It is. Exactly.
What's the average?
$1 million homes just gone.
Really? Desecrated it.
Crazy.
Of course, I'm sure with people like that, they probably had good insurance, but still,
Oh, yeah,
you can't replace pictures and memories and.
When the house is gone and there's nothing left but a foundation.
Good grief. Is that where they was talking
There was
about?
so much debris in the lake.
Yeah, that's where they was talking about people being careful in the lake because there was still a lot of floating debris.
Floating around the lake.
And it went right across that lake and went right over there to Grand Rivers, didn't it?
Well, just south of us, through Land Between the Lakes.
Yeah,
Just
Land Between the
barely
Lakes.
missed the campground.
It did hit the northern part of
Hillman Ferry
it did hit the northern part of the campground, or not the northern part, the western part. When you drive all the way down and then you go all the way back in that back section, there ain't really a whole lot back there. Go past the beach, go past the bathhouse, go all the way down, and then it goes up.
I'd be surprised if it didn't hit more than that.
It hit right in there, and I think it did shut that bathhouse down.
Yeah.
But no, I'm Juby. I've been knowing Chip now for a long time. I'm the
What
guy.
part of Illinois, Tennessee, do you live in?
I live over there towards UT Martin,
Okay, UT Martin.
Weakley County,
Yeah.
Obion County, not too far from Union City. Yeah. But I'm the guy in 2007 that was trying to warn the people about God had showed me about electrical disturbances that they wound up shutting the Kentucky Dam
Oh, I didn't know
down.
about that.
Yeah, you did. You just
What
forgot
kind of
that.
electrical disturbances? Somebody was years and years ago. Someone was predicting an earthquake. We thought we were going to have an earthquake because it was a prediction by somebody.
Well, you're on the New Madrid Fault up there.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're
See,
close.
that goes from Memphis all the way up to St. Louis, basically.
Yeah, when it went off back in, what was it, 1812 or something?
Yeah,
Rang church bells in Boston.
yeah. It was powerful.
It was horrible.
And they claim that platelet is sitting right there, just about ready to move again. Yeah.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah, but in 2017, I was camping up in LBL, and God had showed me that there was going to be electrical disturbances. And of course, a year and a half later is whenever your major ice storm hit. I know you remember that.
Oh God, that was 09.
No way, no,
that well.
no way that you can forget that, right?
No way.
But
Winter of 09.
but anyways, I come to Grand Rivers in 2009 and was going to do some humanitarian free work, and got to working with the volunteer fire department.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever know Troy Newman?
Newcomb.
Newcomb?
Yeah, of course.
You knew him very
he grew
well?
up right across the street from me.
Really?
He was about 13 when we moved into town.
Really?
Yep.
He liked me. He liked me from day one because he realized that
Guys, see you next trip.
he realized that I was coming down to do a good deed.
Yeah.
And me and him would go around to different houses because it was cold, like 20 during the day.
Yeah. Okay.
And once they discovered who I was, they kicked me out of Grand Rivers.
Why?
After me working for about 4 days.
Why?
Because they was still holding my feet to the fire over the episode towards them shutting down the Kentucky Dam in 2017, because I told people that there was going to be electrical disturbances. Somebody took that and took it plumb out of perspective. Okay, so this is Livingston County, right? So I go all the way to the other end of Livingston County, down there where the Ohio River is, down there at Centerville or Smithville. Smithland, that's it, Smithland. And I stay all night helping the church. Keep in mind, it was cold. Nobody had electricity. We was in the middle of a crisis here. I think about 80 counties was shut down, or 70.
2 weeks, no electricity.
Yeah, right here in town. anyways, the following day, I was identified again, and 2 Livingston County Sheriff's Department come up there and railroaded me, and I thought I was going to get knocked around physically, but they basically escorted me from there all the way to the county line road going to Paducah, and said if you come back, you will be arrested.
Well, that's crazy.
So what
Doing nothing.
what wasn't that something pertaining to biting the hand that was trying to feed you? You know, I mean, if you come up here and you're trying to help people, and they bite the very hand that you're trying to offer to them,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Okay.
See you, Mike. Take care of yourself, man.